Hey there, my name is Lorraine, and today we're going to make Coca-Cola cherry cake pops. This is our favorite flavor to make with cake pops, and you can actually use any brand of Coke, but it's a fun treat to have and make with your kids. So we're going to get started. We have white cake mix, 3 eggs, a 1/4 cup of oil, and we're going to use a cup of cherry Coke Zero. To enhance the flavor, I'm going to add a little bit of cherry and some red food coloring just for fun. So the first thing we're going to do is put our ingredients in. We have our white cake mix, and we're going to add our 3 eggs, 1/4 cup of oil, and then a cup of cherry zero. I'm going to start to mix the ingredients, and to this I'm going to add just a little bit of cherry flavor to enhance the flavor of the Coke. And for fun, we add a little bit of red food coloring. And like I said, this is something that I like doing with my kids. They enjoy putting cake mix together. They like playing with the food coloring, and it's easy, and it's something that we can all do together and enjoy. So I'm going to continue to mix my ingredients until they're completely blended. Okay, so once all of your ingredients are incorporated, we're going to go ahead and grab the mixer and mix it all together. Okay, so right now we're going to blend the ingredients at about a 3 to 4 speed for about 1.5 minutes. Okay, so now that we've finished mixing, we're going to go ahead and pour the cake into the pan. And you can already smell the cherry flavor. It smells really fantastic. You'll see everybody's really going to enjoy these pops. Get it all mixed in. And we'll even it out. And you can go ahead and put that in the oven. Your oven should have been preheated to about 350 degrees, and you'll cook the cake for about 23 to 25 minutes. Okay, I've taken my cake out of the oven and I've let it sit for about an hour to cool. You want the cake to be cool to the touch so that it's easy to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of the cake. And I'm going to go ahead and put it into the bowl for crumbling. I add a tablespoon of frosting and just a little bit more cherry. So you crumble this up and you'll see that it starts to feel like dough. But we work the frosting in until actually the bowl starts to get clean. You'll see that the sides get cleaned up and there's no small crumbs left. At this point you can break a small piece or large depending on the size of the cake pop that you want to make, and you can roll it up and you see that it starts to hold its shape. You can take another small little piece out. It's a little bit too big. We don't want to have to dip anything that heavy. And you can put it down. And you'll work with the entire cake like this until you've rolled all the balls. You will get about 16 to 18 cake pops, depending on the size that you're working with. And once we've rolled the entire cake, we will put it in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes so that they can maintain their shape and they'll be easier to dip. Now the fun begins. Now we're going to dip them in chocolate and then we'll decorate them. We're using 6-inch sticks, and you're going to dip it into the chocolate about 1 inch in so that you have something to work with and it goes far enough into the cake pop so that it actually stays in. You do that. You're going to repeat the process for all the pops. Again, we're going to dip it in about 1 inch and put that into the center of the pop. You can let these dry for a few minutes till the chocolate on the outside hardens, and that's when you know that they're ready to dip. In the meantime, we've melted our red and green chocolate for our cherry decoration. And rather than using a large piping bag, I'm going to go ahead and just use a snack bag or a sandwich bag. And that way we could just spoon in just a small amount of chocolate. About a tablespoon is all you're going to need for this. Okay, so we'll get that ready. There's our red, and we'll do the same thing with the green chocolate. And as long as this chocolate is melted, it'll be fine to work with. You're not actually going to dip the pop. in these colors. So we just need it to melt enough so that we can work with it and use it to decorate. So that's done. Now our chocolate is a little cooled. You don't want it to be too hot because you don't want to dip a cold chilled pop into really hot chocolate. As they dry, they'll crack. And so I try to just get the chocolate and the cake pops to as close to temperature as I can. And as you can see, the chocolate around the cake pop has hardened and it looks like we're ready to dip. When you dip the pop, you're going to dip it straight down into the chocolate and lift it out. And at this point, you're just going to tap. I like to use my spoon to help the chocolate come along. That way you can get a nice, neat bottom. The kids really like to do this. It's a lot of fun for them to dip the chocolate. If you lose a pop inside the chocolate, which does happen every now and again, just grab it with a spoon, and most times you can save it. You can get it back on the stick, and if you're real careful, it'll stay on there. So we've dipped this one, and you can just put it on your stand to dry. Okay, now that our chocolate's hardened, we're going to go ahead and decorate the cake pop. And I have my red chocolate. We're going to go ahead and draw 2 little cherries. And you really can't mess these up. Just make 2 small circles. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take the green chocolate and paint the stem to connect the cherries. And that's it, we're done. We have a cherry Coke cake pop. Enjoy!